Hi, I'm Alex, and this is my journey to mastering English in just 6 months. I still remember the first time I tried to speak English. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. My brain froze, my palms got sweaty, and I felt embarrassed. I had been studying English for years in school, yet when I needed to use it, I couldn't say a single word. It was frustrating. But 6 months later, I was confidently having conversations with native speakers. This is my journey from being completely lost in English to becoming fluent in half a year. Month 1. The Wake-Up Call. I realized that my biggest problem wasn't grammar or vocabulary, it was fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding silly, fear of judgment. I decided to change my mindset. Instead of aiming for perfection, I told myself, just speak. Even if it's wrong, just speak. I started small. I changed my phone and laptop language to English. I labeled objects in my room with English words. I even started talking to myself in English. It felt weird at first, but soon it became natural. At the same time, I immersed myself in English content. I stopped watching movies with subtitles in my native language and switched to English subtitles. I listened to podcasts and music in English. The first few days were overwhelming, but I kept going. Month 2. The Struggle and Breakthrough. This month was the hardest. I tried to speak English with people online, but I couldn't keep up. I would forget words, mix up tenses, and sometimes people didn't understand me. I felt discouraged. Then I found a method that changed everything: shadowing. I would listen to a short phrase in English and repeat it immediately, copying the pronunciation and intonation. I practiced every day, sometimes for hours. My mouth got used to forming English sounds, and my confidence grew. I also started using the Think in English technique. Instead of translating words from my native language, I forced myself to think directly in English. It was slow at first, but after a few weeks, my brain started processing English naturally. Month 3. Finding my voice. By this time, I could hold basic conversations, but I still struggled with expressing my thoughts clearly. I decided to record myself speaking every day. At first, it was painful to listen to my own mistakes, but I learned from them. I noticed my pronunciation errors, my hesitations, and my grammar mistakes. I also started using language exchange apps like Hello Talk and Tandem. I connected with native speakers who were learning my language, and we helped each other. It was scary at first, but I realized that people were kind and patient. Making mistakes didn't matter as long as I was improving. Month 4. The Confidence Boost. This was the month when everything started to feel natural. I no longer hesitated before speaking. I could understand most of what people said to me. I even started thinking in English without forcing myself. I also found a mentor, a native speaker who corrected my mistakes in a friendly way. Every time I made a mistake, I wrote it down and practiced the correct version multiple times. This small habit made a huge difference. Month 5. Pushing my limits. To truly challenge myself, I set new goals. I decided to speak only in English for an entire day, no matter what. It was tough, but I survived. This experiment showed me that I knew more English than I thought. I also started writing daily journal entries in English. Writing helped me organize my thoughts and improved my grammar. Some days, I wrote just a few sentences. Other days, I wrote full pages. I didn't worry about mistakes. I just wrote freely. Month 6. Living the language. At this point, English had become part of my daily life. I no longer felt nervous speaking. I had real conversations with native speakers. I even started dreaming in English. One of my proudest moments was when I joined an online English debate. 6 months earlier, I wouldn't have dared to speak up. But now, I confidently expressed my opinions. I still made mistakes, but I didn't let them stop me. Final thoughts. What I learned. Looking back, I realized that learning a language isn't just about studying, it's about using it every day. The key to my success was 1. Speaking from day one, even if I made mistakes, I kept talking. 2. Immersion, surrounding myself with English through movies, music, books, and conversations. 3. Practicing consistently. A little bit every day is better than a lot once a week. 4. Embracing mistakes. They were my best teachers. 5. Thinking in English. This helped me stop relying on translation. If you're struggling with English, remember, fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about being confident. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and you'll get there.